You know that feeling when you walk into a tense boardroom and someone just drops the wrong word?
Oh, yeah. You can literally feel the temperature spike in the room.
Right, it's like throwing a match into a powder keg.
But, using the exact right word acts like a pressure valve.
You can just watch the tension leave the room.
Exactly. It's basically linguistic magic.
And, well, that is exactly what we are unpacking today. Welcome to this deep dive into our source file, TD0018, Technical Discussions.
We're looking at the hidden architecture behind 5 high-level vocabulary words used in corporate environments.
Words you probably use every single day,
Mm-hmm.
but we're going to explore the psychology behind them and how mastering their subtle semantics can just instantly elevate how you manage projects.
Yeah, because it's really not just about sounding professional, right?
Right.
By choosing precise semantics, you are literally changing how your team's brains process an obstacle.
Let's start right there with the present reality. So when things go wrong, human instinct is just to shout, we have a problem.
Absolutely. But the preferred term in our source material is issue.
And honestly, if the server's down or the engine is smoking, calling it an issue feels a bit like corporate sugarcoating, doesn't it? Like you're just avoiding it.
Well, it sounds like avoidance, but it's actually about triage. In an emergency, panic is your absolute biggest enemy.
Right, totally.
When you label a fire a problem, you trigger the amygdala, the fight or flight center of the brain.
So people just immediately get defensive.
Exactly. But the root of the word issue simply means to flow out or emerge.
Okay, so by shifting your language to issue, you're engaging the prefrontal cortex instead.
The logic center, yes. Look at the example from the file. We found a minor issue with the gear alignment during the assembly.
Oh, I see. You're stripping all the emotion out of the event.
You neutralize the threat entirely.
So instead of alarm bells ringing, it just becomes a puzzle sitting on a workbench waiting to be solved.
Precisely. So the team can actually focus on fixing it.
Okay, so once you've drained the panic out of the room with issue, the next immediate hurdle a team faces is orientation.
Because nobody knows where they actually are.
Right. That is where the concept of status comes in to anchor them. The root of the word connects to standing.
Yeah, it establishes where we currently stand. So if a manager asks, could you give us a quick status on the durability testing?
That shouldn't be a demand for results then.
No, not at all. It's simply asking for coordinates so everyone in the room can operate from the exact same map.
Okay, so issue defines what's on the workbench, and status defines where we're standing in the room.
Yeah.
But, well, you can't just stare at the workbench forever.
You have to look forward.
Right, which requires projecting into the future with words like risk and feature.
And those two concepts really govern how a team moves. Openly discussing risk, a potential unhappened threat, usually gets a bad rap in corporate cultures.
Because people think it makes them look pessimistic.
Exactly. But running a thorough risk assessment actually demonstrates a developer's absolute rigor.
Like the source file notes. There's a high risk of overheating if we increase the RPM further.
Spot on.
See, I usually look at managing risk as playing defense, and then pushing a new feature is playing offense.
That's a fair comparison.
But maybe a better way to look at it is like building a sports car. Managing risk is like installing the brakes.
Ooh, I like that.
You don't put brakes on a car to go slow, You put them on so you can drive fast, safely.
That is a brilliant way to conceptualize it. The brakes enable the velocity, and meanwhile, pitching a feature is the engine.
Right, because the historical root of the word feature
Yeah.
referred to facial characteristics, right?
It did, yeah. But in tech, a feature is your competitive advantage. It's the selling point that propels you forward.
Like saying the new noise reduction feature is the main selling point of this model.
Exactly.
So we have the brakes and the engine working together. But here's what I'm wondering. How do you measure if that car is actually heading in the right direction?
Well, that brings us to our final term from the source file, which is standard.
Like all output components must meet the highest quality standards.
Yes.
See, I always used to look at setting a standard as a finish line. Like, great, we hit the standard, we're done here.
A lot of people do, but in continuous engineering, that's actually the wrong way to look at it.
Really? Why is that?
Because if you treat a standard as a finish line, innovation basically stops the second you cross it.
Oh, wow. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, the conceptual root of the word standard is actually a banner everyone looks to.
So it's not the end of the race.
No, it's the compass. It ensures that every issue you resolve, every status you update, and every risk you mitigate is keeping the team aligned.
Under one unified goal.
Exactly.
It is wild to think about how mastering the mechanics of just 5 words—issue, status, risk, feature, and standard— can transform a chaotic meeting into a highly functional machine.
You're not just communicating, you're actively managing the room's psychology
Stripping away all that emotional baggage.
and leaving yourself with actionable clarity.
So what does this all mean for you tomorrow morning at work? Just think about this for a second.
How much daily workplace stress could be instantly eliminated?
Yeah, just by swapping out panicked, reactive language for neutral, precise
Not
vocabulary.
a massive amount, honestly.
So next time you're in a tense meeting, remember that powder keg.
You really don't have to throw a match.
You can just put the puzzle on the workbench.